A UN report confirms Rwanda was recruiting rebels to oust Burundi's president. In our Music Maker segment, a collaboration from two giants of the Nigerian music industry. And basketball and music come together in the Harlem Globetrotters' 90th birthday video. Africa 54 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. We begin in West Africa, where Malian forces supported by United Nations helicopters have retaken a UN police base in the northern city of Timbuktu after it had been attacked early Friday by unknown assailants, according to the UN mission to Mali. Spokesman Olivier Salgado said the fighting was over, but he did not say whether there had been casualties, but a resident reported seeing bodies on the ground near the compound. And now, Salgado says the attackers drove up to the entrance of the UN base in the former Hotel Palmeraie around 6:30 p.m. local time and then detonated their vehicle. A military source in Timbuktu says the site near the entrance to the city had been taken over exclusively by a Nigerian police contingent, and there were no other residents in the facility as the hotel was no longer operational. To East Africa now, Somali officials say the terrorist group Al-Shabaab was behind the bombing of a commercial jet that killed one passenger. The blast ripped a hole in the side of the fuselage. Authorities believe the victim was sucked through the opening before the pilot made an emergency landing shortly after taking off from Mogadishu airport Tuesday. Now, the remaining 74 passengers on the Dalu Airlines flight bound for Djibouti were not injured. More news now on the Zika virus. The World Health Organization is advising medical officials not to accept blood donations from people who have recently returned from countries affected by the virus. The mosquito-borne disease is most prevalent in Latin America, particularly Brazil, and poses its greatest danger to pregnant women. Doctors suspect Zika is linked to a rare neurological condition called microcephaly, which causes babies to be born with abnormally small heads. There is currently no treatment for Zika, but a number of global pharmaceutical companies are rapidly working on a vaccine. A confidential report to the United Nations Security Council says there have been attempts to smuggle weapons from the Democratic Republic of Congo through Rwanda to rebels in Burundi, where there is an ongoing political crisis. Burundi insists that Rwanda is training a rebel group with the sole purpose of returning home to oust President Pierre Nkurunziza. Rwanda is dismissing those allegations. For some insight into the Rwanda-Burundi feud, David Himbara, a political analyst and former economic advisor to Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, joins me on the phone from Toronto, Canada. Dr. Himbara, welcome to Africa 54.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to participate on your program.
Yes. Now, a question many people ask is, why would Rwanda want to oust President Pierre Nkurunziza of Burundi, the neighbor?
Well, he has not hidden he has not hidden his agenda himself. He's gone publicly on a number of occasions, claiming that Nkurunziza has not delivered to the Burundian people, and then Kagame sees himself, I guess, as the defender of the Tutsi in the region, in Rwanda, in Congo, and Burundi, and he was claiming that there was genocide against Tutsi developing in Burundi, which, of course, has turned out not to be true.
Now, we know that they were not always enemies. I mean, when did things get sour between Paul Kagame and Mr. Nkurunziza?
Yeah, actually, initially, Kagame was a kind of President Kagame was a kind of godfather to Nkurunziza initially. Things seemed to go sour about a year ago. You may recall when the 40 bodies, 40-plus bodies, turned up in the lake shared by the two countries. And Burundian authorities did an investigation and pointed the finger to Rwanda, that those bodies came from Rwanda. Rwanda was very displeased, wanted this thing swept under the rug. but the Burundians, for their own reasons, stuck to their gun. I think that we saw the beginning of the souring of relations. And then when Nkurunziza then drove, his third-term project, I guess Kagame saw an opportunity to say, hey, here's my chance to hit back.
Now, given that actually it seems like many people across the continent, even the international community, are in favor of Mr. Nkurunziza stepping down, would this perhaps be beneficial indirectly to Africa and to the world if Kagame helps to oust Mr. Nkurunziza?
No, no, look, I think we ought to leave the Burundians sort themselves out. There is no one country that has a right to solve other countries' problems, let alone Rwanda, who has had a fight with just about everybody, every country in that region there, You remember the Kenyans closed the embassy back in the 1990s after an assassination there. The Kagame has been at war with South Africans because of assassinations. He has invaded Congo. The UN group of experts a few years back established that, which led to aid suspension. So why would, of all countries, be given a green card to sort another country out?
Now, could very quickly in a few seconds, could also this be a distraction from his ambition to be president for many, many, many more years to come?
Oh, absolutely. But it's quite ironic that in the constitution that was changed in Rwanda, they inserted in immunity for Kagame after he leaves power. And here he is now messing up another country, So it's a kind of a contradictory thing,
Wow.
It's all about power.
All right. David, thank you very much, and we do really appreciate your perspective. David Himbara is a political analyst and former economic advisor to Rwandan President Paul Kagame. Now, I want to know what you think about issues that touch your everyday life. So every week, we ask a question and we profile some of your answers. The continuing violence in Somalia and the presence of the African Union forces there prompted us to ask, do you think the African Union forces, AMISOM, is succeeding in its mission in Somalia? Well, from Facebook, Barbailo from Monrovia in Liberia said, Somalia needs more force to eradicate such violence that is totally against a human life. Spencer Peter Luyombia from Entebbe in Uganda agrees if it was not for AMISOM, he says, then would Somalia still exist? No, so credit goes to AMISOM. From Twitter, Gued Warsame disagrees and says AMISOM is not succeeding in Somalia since it's made up of soldiers from neighboring countries with a hidden agenda. While on the other hand, Raymond C. Maro from Tanzania believes that the African Union needs to rethink its mission and strategy to Somalia, and that a new military strategic intervention is a must. Well, thank you very much for your responses and keep them coming. Go to Facebook. The address is Africa54. Tell me what you think. Should the African Union send forces to Burundi without the government's consent? Or send me a tweet at VOA Vince Makori. Well, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Coming up now, a high-tech speed limiter is made in Kenya. Stay with us.
This is BizBeat.
Being deaf has not stopped Mara Landinas from opening up her own business. In sign language, she says,
many of my friends love my clothes, they love my shoes, and it really hit me that maybe I should become a fashion designer instead. So that's when I decided.
At her New York store, Mara uses sign language to communicate with customers, but so does Russ Stein, a restaurant owner. Using sign language, he says, it's not as complicated as one might think.
Just imagine yourself in another country, for example. How do you communicate? You know, you use gestures, you point.
There's about 1 million deaf people in the U.S., 70 million worldwide. Tom Baldridge of Gallaudet University says technology is playing a big role for the disabled.
Social media and email have made face-to-face oral communication less necessary in interacting with deaf people.
For Russ and Mara, they believe more of the hearing community are opening their ears to the deaf. For VOA's BizBeat, I'm Philip Alexio.
Welcome back. It's Music Makers Friday, and today we take you to Nigeria, where we find Humble Smith and Davido with a remix of the song Osinachi. Here to tell us about the duo is VOA's Music Time in Africa host, Heather Maxwell. Heather, welcome to Africa 54.
Thanks, Vincent.
Who are these two guys first?
Well, Davido, I think many people already know he's a big star already. Yeah. Humble Smith is a sort of a breakout star, and this song is one of the biggest, most popular songs right now in Nigeria, and it's making him a star.
Let's see why it is such a big song. Let's watch Osinachi.
Somebody else. Mr. Dempsey over here. Plenty people done the act. Now with the Baba do the jazz. Shady Baba do well for me. Now my life is done better. Not because I suffer fast. Not because I pray and fast. No be your show, no be jazz. I'm watching. Hey, Osinachi. I'm no kwa, Osinachi. One man, Osinachi. I'm watching. Osinachi, mama. Osinachi, Osinachi,
Davido, you don't dare. We be there here plenty talk about say you get some issue. Yes, for this life, is either you fly by aircraft or witchcraft. So now I want to ask you the question for you.
Well, okay. Let's take a break there from that music. But the question is here: what is all this about? I mean, the song.
The song means everything comes from God.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice. You can't really argue with that.
Yeah, that's
with
cool.
with that message.
Yeah.
But I really like the filmmaker. He's very well known. His name is Clarence Peters.
Yeah.
And he's doing all of the #1 top music videos in Nigeria. So. He does an excellent job, too, on these music videos.
And we have to say that one of the greatest things I think Nigerian musicians are doing, they are young, they're embracing modern hip-hop styles of music, but they're really maintaining something that is very Nigerian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Very true. And, this music video maker has also done Johnny, the song by Yemi Alade.
Yemi Alade,
yeah, he does a lot of them that always tend to do that. They bring in beautiful parts of the tradition, like the dancers and the women.
Yeah.
And the men.
And the men. They all
look good.
Great dancers. Yes. So it's good that you're able to share with us this video. I hope someday they come around and we're going to have them in the studio, hopefully. Heather, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we want to thank you very, very much for another really fantastic segment. Now, to learn more about Heather Maxwell and VOA radio show, visit Facebook and type in the keywords Music Time in Africa, and you can see what the program can be heard, where it can be heard in your own area, and go get more information about some of the featured artists. Well, a Kenyan company called Copper Solar is providing clean energy to more than 300,000 homes across East Africa by allowing customers to pay as you go via their cell phones. As Lenny Ruvago reports from Kangemi, customers pay a small deposit for a solar unit and then pay less than $1 a day to get clean energy to light up their homes or businesses.
Gilbert Ondieki is installing a solar panel from Copper on the roof of his shop in Kangemi on the outskirts of Nairobi. He says having a steady supply of electricity has meant more sales, earning more cash for his family.
Mkapa Solar has really boosted my business because in the past, when darkness set in, I would close for the day. But now I'm able to work late into the night and close whenever I want to.
Mkapa, whose name comes from the Swahili word for borrow, sells the solar kits for $35, and customers then pay 50 cents a day for a year, after which they own their systems. The kit contains an 8-watt solar panel, 2 LED bulbs, a rechargeable flashlight, a phone charger, and a rechargeable radio. Mkopa users pay using their mobile phones, making it more efficient to track cost and use. Jesse Moore is Mkopa's CEO.
In 10 years, the rest of the world will look at what leapfrogging technologies came out of Kenya and came out of East Africa, and I think we will have a situation where this part of the world is the role model for others, going off the grid, harnessing the power of the sun, and connecting people affordably, reliably, and quickly in a way that's never been done before.
And business is booming.
Welcome to Mkopa. My name is Gloria. How may I assist you?
Gloria Lucidio is one of more than 200 Mkopa customer care representatives helping people across East Africa with their solar energy systems. Mkopa now has pay-as-you-go customers in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. It offers an alternative to traditional power companies, such as in Kenya, where only 4 million households are connected to the national electricity grid in a country of 42 million. Lenny Ruvaga for VOA News, Kangemi, Kenya.
Well, the label made in Kenya is not something you often see on high-tech speed governance recorders, but a young Kenyan technopreneur is trying to change that with his Omata speed limiter registered under the trademark of Dalcom Kenya Limited. Africa 54 Spawn Diho recently visited the tech company in Nairobi and has our report.
The Omata Road Speed Limiter or Cruise Control, commonly known in Kenya as the Speed Governor, is a state-of-the-art microcontroller technology that assures accurate, smooth operation of the vehicle. The speed limiter computes the speed of the vehicle and continuously monitors the car. Once the vehicle reaches a set maximum speed, it stops the car from going beyond the required speed limit. The tech company was started in 2006 by David Kiare, a Nairobi-based technopreneur who wanted to do something good for his community and make some money.
We are manufacturers of the said brand. We manufacture them here in Kenya.
Dalcom's business is booming. It has gone from selling and installing just a few gadgets in vehicles to partnering with government agencies. Matatus are the primary means of public transportation in Nairobi and other vehicles.
The product has been approved in Nigeria. We have done a demo to them, and the product already is there. We are just waiting for them to start enforcing the law. Already we have started fitting some vehicles there. Already now, as we are talking, we are doing an office in Rwanda. And as we are talking, people are from the government of Ethiopia. They have sent their delegates here, and we are having some discussion. We want to go to Ethiopia also.
Dalcom wants to become Kenya's biggest manufacturer for road safety gadgets. David Kiari says his company wants to create a product by Kenyans for Africans, thereby creating an avenue for young men and women with the skills in craftsmanship and arts to explore their talents and abilities to fulfill their dreams.
Most of us are technicians, but we all have that innovative spirit in us. So basically, most of us are self-taught. Maybe not, most of us didn't go to college to study. Most of us learned on the job. Yeah, and that's how we got to be as good as we are.
Omata Speed Governor is among those technologies approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards for use in vehicles, and installation of the speed control gadgets is among measures spearheaded by the Ministry of Transport to help curb road accidents.
This is the ignition key. So just like in a real vehicle, when a vehicle is in neutral, you see the revs, the rev counter is already counting. So after you engage first gear, that's when you can see you've started now moving. But there is also a speed you cannot go beyond. Then you engage gear 2, then the speed increases. Gear 3, Now that's when the speed is a bit faster. And then now gear 4, that's when now you get to where the speed needs to be limited.
Overspeed?
Yes,
Overspeed?
yes. It goes 80, goes back.
Whenever it goes beyond 80,
Yeah.
so it shows up
It
here.
shows there, yeah.
Analysts seem to agree. They say since the Kenyan government started enforcing the use of digital speed limiters like Omata, the number of accidents on the roads has reduced drastically. And for technopreneurs like David, whose Omata brand is becoming a household name, hopes to stay competitive. But whether it can sustain the growth, keep the price point low, and continue to employ workers at high wages than its counterparts will ultimately be the true test. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.
Well, it's time now for a short break. Still to come on Africa 54. Basketball and music come together in the Harlem Globetrotters' 90th birthday video. We'll be right back.
If you've just joined us, I'm Mariama Diallo, and here is a quick recap of today's headlines. In South Africa, around 90 miners are rescued while 3 remain missing after a cave-in at a gold mine. In Somalia, investigators suspect that a plane explosion caused by a bomb that was smuggled onto the aircraft using a wheelchair. In Egypt, pharmaceutical industry is affected by foreign currency drop. In Tunisia, the nationwide curfew has been lifted after being imposed last month following violent demonstrations. We stay in the region where in Morocco, King Mohammed VI inaugurated the country's first solar power plant, a project to boost the country's clean energy goals. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
I wanted to present music and a side of American culture that is most important to me, that is a part of who I am. They're going to get some incredible performances. That's one of the things I love, bringing these artists in so you can get to see them do what they do. It's soul music, and that's what music is. It's that which comes from the soul.
Welcome back to Africa 54. Here's what's trending. A video of a Pomeranian dog in Thailand doing a traditional Chinese lion dance is getting a lot of attention ahead of Lunar New Year. The video has received over 3 million views since it was posted on Facebook on Monday, a Facebook page dedicated to Ziplaw and his friends. Many believe the dance, accompanied by loud drum beats and cymbals, can expel evil spirits and bring about good luck. Next Monday marks the first year of the year of the monkey. Well, and finally, not content with being really ridiculously good looking, Derek Zoolander's now broken a world record too, or at least his real-life alter ego Ben Stiller has, after using the world's longest ever selfie stick at the UK premiere of the film on Thursday night. The 50-year-old is reprising his role as the dim-witted male model that audiences grew to know and love in 2001. Well, it's been an exciting week in sports. For all of the highlights, we turn to Sunny Young with the sunny side of sports. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, Vincent, and sporty greetings once again to our Africa 54 viewers. The percussion group Stomp has teamed up with the Harlem Globetrotters on a New York City court to celebrate the world-famous basketball team's 90th anniversary. Let's take a look at their bouncy and entertaining video. From New York City, let's go across the USA to Santa Clara, California, south of San Francisco, where the 50th Super Bowl of American-style football will be played Sunday. The game between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers features two star quarterbacks at different stages of their careers, 39-year-old Peyton Manning of the Broncos and 26-year-old Cam Newton of the Panthers. Manning was named Most Valuable Player of Super Bowl 41 when he played for the Indianapolis Colts. And while Manning has that one Super Bowl trophy, Newton is aiming for his first. The Panthers are led by Ron Rivera, only the second Hispanic coach to take a team to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest party days in the United States, and this 50th anniversary edition is certainly reason to celebrate. I'm VOA's Sonny Young, and that's the sunny side of sports. Vincent?
Well, thanks a lot, Sonny. Remember to watch for the sunny side of sports every Monday and Friday right here on Africa 54. And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. For more news, tune in to VOA's evening radio show, Africa News Tonight, at 1800 UTC. And in the mornings today, break Africa between 0300 and 0600 UTC, Monday through Friday. Thanks a lot for watching. From all of us here in Washington, have a good night.
Welcome to English in a Minute. You might have heard this idiom in Taylor Swift's new song. Is Taylor really singing about trees? Let's listen to these friends to find out.
How is your grandmother? I heard she's in the hospital.
Thanks for asking. I visited her this morning, and doctors say she is out of the woods. She's feeling much better and is going to be able to go home soon.
Out of the woods means someone is no longer in danger. Sometimes it is used to describe the fact that a person is no longer in danger of dying. But it can also be used when talking about a person or even a company that has gotten out of a difficult situation. And that's English in a Minute.